Hey everybody, this is Brett. And writing is part of health, and I really enjoy writing, and it's something that I've always done kind of well. I haven't done it that much for a long time, but when I was a kid, I loved writing. And so, the last couple of years I've kind of gotten back into it, and I post on this writers forum on Facebook, etc. And people find my stories rather interesting, and I've read a few of them to you, and here's a new one, hot off the press. I hope that you like it. It's called The Nasty Amish Girl, and it reads, once there was a very nice yet feisty Amish girl named Marball living in a strict Amish community in rural Pennsylvania. This girl had lived an incredibly isolated existence, and up until a famous YouTuber came into town to shoot a video, she'd had practically no real connection to the outside world. One day, while riding her bicycle to a neighbor's house for milk, the visiting YouTuber stopped in his car to say hello on the road. Marball was scared to even talk to an outsider, but curious enough to ask about something she'd heard of. The internet. The young YouTuber was quick to mention that a person could learn about almost anything just by looking up a desired search phrase. The young girl thought to herself, anything? The next week, the Marball, just turned 18, decided to go into town to go to the thrift store where she'd purchased some regular clothes. After purchasing the clothes, she went over to the local McDonald's and went into the bathroom to change into them. When she came out, she quickly left with her Amish clothes in a bag so that no one would notice. With her new clothes, she hopped on her bicycle and rode 12 miles to Hemlock, the next town down the road. Her plan was to go to the public library to look at the internet. When she arrived, she asked the librarian if she could use the computer. Of course, said the librarian. Do you need any help? Yes, please, Marball said politely. After looking up a few things related to gardening and animal husbandry, the girl decided to get brave. Sex, she wrote into the search. I wonder what this is, Marball said after clicking on an X-rated website. Within seconds, the look on Marball's face changed rather dramatically. Jesus! Lordy, lordy, lordy! Marball wanted to look away, but she couldn't. Look at the size of that. Oh, that's how you do it. Could I ever do something like that? She stayed at the library for hours and hours until it closed, and then rode home in the dark. Before getting too close to home, she changed back into her Amish clothes, all but the panties. After several more trips to the Hemlock Library, Marball was ready to make some big changes in her life. She wanted to experience Las Vegas. After purchasing some short shorts and a Daisy Duke cutoff tank top, Marball hitched a ride all the way to Kansas City, then to Denver, then to Vegas. She had no idea what she was doing, but things started coming to her rather easily. A man named Tito offered to let her stay at his mansion for free. Wow, what an opportunity. Free? Yup, no charge, said Tito. You can work for me. Soon other opportunities came along for Marball. She became a stripper, an escort, and then a full-fledged state of Nevada licensed prostitute making $25,000 a week. She did this job for about 5 years, saving almost every dollar, just like her daddy had taught her. Then she retired. She'd had enough sex, lights, glitter, and fun. It was time to go home. Marball sold almost all her possessions, hopped in her Porsche, and drove all the way back to rural Pennsylvania. When she pulled up to her old house, the look of amazement on her siblings' faces was beyond description. She hadn't contacted them in nearly 6 years. She tried to be subtle about what she'd done, but there was really no avoiding the truth. Eventually, the entire Amish community found out about her exploits and money. Marble was not able to stay in PA, although she'd still adored many of the things the Amish lifestyle offered. She hated the thought of being restricted and scrutinized all the time. Freedom was just too precious now. Hey, how about living in Fiji? As a remembrance to the past, she found her old bicycle and rode to the Hemlock Library to use the computer again. While riding, she cried and thought about where she'd been. After a few hours of research, Marble made her decision within a day or two. She'd purchased a flight to Fiji and was on her way. She'd saved lots of money as a hooker in Vegas, so she didn't need to work anymore. She bought a little piece of land and built a small hut to live in. Each day she ate coconut, papaya, fresh fish, and rice. After a few years of natural living, Marble decided to start her own YouTube channel. She called it The Nasty Amish Girl. She became a YouTube superstar. In her videos, she talked about her childhood, her transition, and the natural life she now lives. Over time, she came to understand that you are what you think, eat, act, and how you live. She no longer adhered to Christianity. She valued her own spirituality, respecting the earth and listening to her own inner voice and wisdom. She lived to be 114 years old and was well remembered by the islanders for her honesty and kindness. The End. By Brett Rogers, 2/8/2024. So I hope that you enjoyed this interesting little story. Please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Go to my website and buy an awesome natural product. Be well.